And we are back. Welcome back to SHARCOM 2021. I'm Lance Corporal Falco once again, and here I am with Seasoner, who will be running SoulCalibur 2 HD, Weapon Master any percent. If you wanna, feel free to donate to any of our chosen charities. You can donate through Twitch subscriptions, bits, or the PayPal link below the stream, and you can type !donate, and the Nightbot will provide a Just Given link. Here, take it away, Seasoner. Take it away, Seasoner.
Oh, okay. So this is a video game. I appreciate that's not a very great start, but this is SoulCalibur 2. This is the HD remaster. They remade. There was originally on 3 7th generation consoles. Is that right? What was the 7th generation?
I believe the 7th generation is PS3, Xbox 360, and
Okay.
Nintendo Wii. Let me look it
So
up.
it was on 6th generation consoles. Each, like 3 different versions, each had a specific character that was associated with that version. It was on PlayStation 2, which gave you Heihachi from Tekken, on GameCube, which gave you Link, and the original Xbox. And that version had Spawn from the Todd McFarlane comics, I want to say. I know it's not Seth MacFarlane, I know that's someone else, but I can't remember the actual dude's first name. Anyway, they remade these games on HD on Xbox. I think it's Xbox Live Arcade and PSN, or whatever it was called back then. When they remade it, they didn't include a Nintendo version, so it was just on PlayStation and Xbox. So no Link in this version. However, both Heihachi and Spawn are in both versions of this game. I will not be using either of those characters. I will be using someone else. The main objective of this particular category is to complete the main adventure mode of the game. You do a small amount, beat a final boss, and that opens up a massive extra section. We don't do that extra section in this run because it takes a really long time. And some of the missions are genuinely really difficult. I can't be bothered. So we're just going to do the base part of the story. I will be using 2 different characters throughout the run. I will start with Talim, who is very good at short range. She hits lots of times for small damage, which in a mode like this you often want. Although there will be a few missions where it's helpful to have long range or be able to keep enemies at bay. For that I'll be using Nightmare because of the Soul Edge, as you see, Mr. Nightmare with his big sword. I will be using him. He will have the reach I need to avoid certain enemy attacks or certain enemy negative status effects that are specific to certain missions. I hope everyone enjoyed that intro that I talked over. It is quite a cool intro. I have already, there are a couple of control things that I would normally do. I have already done those. So we just go now into the Weapon Master mode. We always start from a new game, which unfortunately in the HD versions means you have to create at least, unless there's a way a way to do it that I don't know about. I have to create a new profile every time. So this is a brand new PlayStation 3 profile made specifically for this marathon, specifically to play this game for about 40 minutes for your entertainment. And hopefully some donations as well. Falco, do you have any hilarious names you want me to give? You have, I think, 10 characters?
I think we'll ask the chat. What would the chat like Seasoner to name his character? Homer 1. I'm seeing 2 Homer 1s. So far, 1 from Tilbert, 1 from Tyler. We're seeing a Homer 1 from K-Thram.
There we go. I think we have a consensus. So I choose my file name. There's a bit of introduction to the story, which I will. You can skip all of the story, all of the cutscenes, everything. You can mash through them. So I'm about to select Talim as my starting character. This, as far as the starting character is concerned, this only changes. This doesn't impact how you play the game. It changes a couple of fights throughout the game because each character is associated with a certain rival, which actually affects this mode and the arcade mode as well, and it changes who you fight at certain points in the story. I'm just going to choose Talim, even though I don't necessarily like fighting who Talim faces, but it's quicker, it's just easier for me. And when I select Talim, that's when time will start for whoever's doing time.
We are ready with time whenever.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and go. Chapter 1. This is just an introduction to the game, so this first mission is legitimately just a tutorial. You get told what all of the buttons do. We have to just try to spam through, and you get told to hit a vertical attack, then a horizontal, then a kick. You get told how to guard, how to run, and how to throw. This is why I changed some buttons beforehand, because a throw is not initially there isn't initially a combo set linked to throws, so yeah, I had to set it beforehand. Okay, but now I've completed the tutorial. I have 600 money that I won't spend. From here on, we get told to utilize everything we learned. We have to just defeat these three, who, within the context of the story, within the game's lore, these characters do travel around together. They help. They found each other on their quest, and we now have to just beat them all up with our little arm lady things. Go, we're down, we're 2 down. And finally Maxi. If I were really were I doing this in a setting that wasn't inherently related to speed or anything like that, I would probably start with Astaroth, because he gets Maxi as a rival, whereas because I picked Talim, I get Yunsung as a rival, who I like fighting much less. But speaking of that, we now actually have our first fight against our rival. His name doesn't change. It doesn't matter which male character we pick. They always have the same name. It doesn't change on who we pick, unless I think we pick one of the girls, or we pick someone whose rival is one of the girls. In which case I don't actually remember what their name becomes, which I do apologize for. But there we go. Our first chapter completed. And from each chapter we unlock the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We also unlock a few areas that we never go to in the speedrun, for reason because they're side areas that we don't have to do. This mission is one of the one that I think Talim is very good for, because it's one where you have to attack a certain number of times, or you have to land a certain number of hits. If the enemy blocks, it doesn't count. But as you see, Talim has... I just died. Okay. There's the first death. I didn't expect it to come that quickly. But the idea of this mission in particular is to hit the enemy a certain number of times, irregardless of how much damage each of those attacks does. Which is why a unit like Talim is really good, because she has lots of combos that just attack a bunch of times. And even when we hit the number, we do just have to wait out the time, so I can keep going to see how many attacks 33. $33. My back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
OBS still doesn't seem to be working, but at least I'm back in the call. I don't know what happened. It just decided to randomly crap itself.
All I can see on the restream is not like this.
What do I do? I think I do.
It's
Yeah, I
my
do this
guess.
one. Cool. It should be. Oh, I know. It just decided. Yeah, I have like no. I'm dropping so many frames randomly. It's crap itself. I apologize profusely. I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to be as bad as this. I expected it to, work. Self.
You did your best.
Thing is, mate, like, yeah, all I will say is, even though I'm having my internet issues, I'm still playing the game. So I'm trying to do things in like the tiny load zones I get, hard-coded load zones. Like after mission chapters are done, I get tiny like hard-coded load zones. So I'm trying to see if I can figure things out in that tiny section I get. It seems as if it is just because my internet's dying, because my network, my like coding frames are fine. So it's not because I've I've gone too high a bitrate or whatever. It's literally just because my internet is
All I
deciding to
can
hate me.
see on the
It also means that I can't actually hear the Discord call, which is fantastic. Oh, God's sake.
Would you like test?
I mean, you all end up popping in and out. That's as far as that's what I'm fully aware of. If you can even hear me at this point, I will just pop in and out because of how everything's falling apart.
I can hear you on my end.
So I don't know if it was Discord or if it was something else like related to my laptop or my internet, but Discord just hasn't been playing ball on my laptop all day. On my phone, it's fine, but on my laptop, it's just hated me and decided it wants to be a little bitch. And yeah, so I'm streaming at 60 FPS and I'm consistently dropping about 60% of those based on the numbers Discord OBS is giving me. But I mean, I'm connected to the internet. I know I am because obviously I'm still in this call and I have everything else going. But yeah, it's just I just don't know. Like when I tested this, like I was testing it with the internet about as it is now. My internet's not completely died since we did the test. My internet's still live, and I just don't get it. Ugh. I feel like I've let people down now. And I don't like it.
What is it you would like to do, Seasoner?
So I have this mission, and I'm gonna get obviously a natural break after this mission is done. I'm gonna stop the stream and just lower the settings a little bit. I'm gonna lower the bitrate just a tiny bit and switch to 30 FPS and see if that makes any difference. I'm also
Okay.
not gonna local record. I'm gonna stop local recording and see if that helps. I'm on stream, actually.